So what you're gonna need is bleach powder, 20 volume. Please, especially if you're doing your hair at home, do not use any volume higher than 20. Now the consistency for the bleach, me personally, especially for balayage, highlights, anything on the creative side, I like thick. Very, very thick, like cream cheese kind of bleach. Not too thick like cream cheese, but at least so you can apply it smoothly. Alright, so when you start highlighting the hair, I'll show you sections and how to section the hair later, but I'm midway done, so bear with me. So you're going to take about 1/2 inch section of hair, and then you're going to weave it very thin. My client wants natural looking highlights that look like the sun did it, not that I did it. So now that you've picked up the weaved hair, what you're going to do is with the foil, flip a piece over the metal part of the brush and then slide it as close to the root as you can. That's why you need to do 1/2 inch section, because the thinner the hair, the closer you can put the foil to the scalp. I'm going to start in the middle just to have the hair stick to the foil, and then I'm going to apply the bleach. If I was to apply the bleach here, when I close the foil, it would be like an overly stuffed sandwich, and all the bleach would spill out the foil, end up on her roots, and that's how you'll get hot roots. And yeah, then you gotta fix it, and then it's a whole mess, blah blah blah. Anyway, so what my trick is when I get to the root or close to the root, I make sure that most of the product is off of my brush, and the little excess product I'll brush on the root. It's not a lot of product, and it's not gonna get as light as everything that's saturated in the bleach, but what it's gonna do is it's going to give the illusion of a shadow root once you tone it and everything comes together. And then you close it. Don't squeeze it closed, just pat it, and then you use this part of the brush, fold that end, and then yeah, just do really thin sections all over the head, and then I will see you when we're toning the hair. Once the hair is fully covered, this is how it should look, and then you wait about 20 minutes and then you can check on it. When you're checking the foils, everyone gets super scared with bleach. Everyone thinks like, oh my god, my hair is gonna fall out. But if you're using 20 volume, like I said, this is for people using 20 volume. You hear me? 20 volume. You're going to leave the foil on until the last piece that you did matches the first piece that you did. So when I work in 3 sections. This was the first section I did, the second section I did, and the last section. Now, when I check on her in 20 minutes, if this first piece exactly matches this last piece, she's ready to be washed and toned. But if it's not, you'll obviously know how much longer you'll need, obviously based on the color that the first one is at. So this is how light the back section got, which is the first section that I started. And then if we look at the last piece, it is the same color, so they are ready. And since they match, now we can wash her and tone her. Now to tone her highlights, we're going to be using these 2 toners, the WELLA T14 and the 050, just like our last video. For those of you guys who don't know what they look like from the box, these are the boxes, and then that's the product from the inside. So we're going to mix this up, and then we are going to tone her. So now that we have washed her hair with clarifying shampoo, by the way, the reason why I use clarifying shampoo is because it gives the hair a very deep clean, and it also ensures that all the bleach is going to be removed from her hair. So we're going to be going in with our toner, and we're going to be applying it to the roots first. Then after we apply it to all the roots, we're going to be brushing it through her hair. The reason why we apply it to the roots first is because, as you can see, the foil doesn't allow you to get right to the scalp. What the toner does is it bumps the base a little bit to give it more of a natural blend, but you'll see at the end. But just make sure you apply to the roots first, then you brush throughout the hair. And if you want to make this process easier for yourself, you can just do 4 sections. It doesn't need to be perfect. The only order that it needs to go in is roots first, everything else after. That's it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So now I had just brushed all the toner through her hair. Because we just did these highlights right now and they're fresh, we're going to leave it on for 5 minutes. But if you are toning highlights at home that you already did, not today, like a couple months ago, or you're just refreshing your color, leave it on for 20 minutes. But because her highlights are fresh and this bleach was just put on today, we're going to leave it on for 5. Like I say in every hair video, don't ever judge the wet part of the hair. You can't really see the colors or the highlights, but nothing looks the same when it's wet. The end product is the dry product. Anyways, so now I just want to show you guys about the transition. So when you apply the toner on the roots first, it gets rid of any of the lines you may have from root to highlight start. So now you can see that it's just all one solid color. It's a transitional shade. It's a little darker, but not where you can notice it. It'll look more like a shadow. So anyways, I'm gonna dry it, then I'll show you guys. The finished product, guys. As you can see, the highlights are very, very thin, so it looks more like one shade instead of so much dimension. And this is what I mean about the root. It looks very shadowy and there's no harsh transition shade. This is a better shot of the hair color and what it looks like. We did it super ash because she didn't want no yellow, no orange, nothing. If you want it to be a little bit more natural blonde, you can do the same thing, just use less 050. Use less of that. That will make it more of a natural blonde. But if you like this, use the same formula. Anyways, thank you guys.